Just the last couple blocks. All right. Now, let's get up here and see how it looks. Ah, beautiful, isn't it? Let's get this here. Oh yeah, that looks great. Howdy y'all. My name is Arendil76 and I'm very excited to welcome you to Calmcraft. I've been playing on the Calmcraft server since about December of 2019, just before Christmas, and I'm really excited to be able to kind of show off my town, some of my builds that me and my really good friend Barochi have been making around here, both to other players on the server who may not have explored over this way, but also to other people just on YouTube who might be interested in finding a server for them to play on sometime. So I'm going to give you all a little bit of a town tour. We've got a lot that we've built over the past few months to look over and introduce you to what the next step is for my town here. So without further ado, we'll get into it with Town Spawn. So here we are at Town Spawn. Now if you're new to Calmcraft, we use a couple of plugins, so we're not a completely vanilla server. One of those plugins is Townie. Townie's a really great addition to Minecraft. It allows you to protect some of your builds from outsiders and things. It allows you to teleport quickly between towns, which is what I just did here to take us to Town Spawn. So I recommend it very much if you're running some sort of server, especially a public server like Calmcraft. So my town is called Wootton Major. It's a bit of a Tolkien reference, if you don't, not a Lord of the Rings reference, but to one of his other works that he wrote. We got our laws over here: no cults, kill all llamas on sight, and be nice and build cool stuff. These have been rules since the very beginning of my town. Someday I'll do a story time and tell you about the llama cult, but I don't think we have time for that today. And over here we have our active town members. This actually needs to be updated. So there's me, Arendil76, I'm the town mayor, and my assistant is my very good friend Barochi. We actually have one other member at the moment, which is Aristotle, but I'll update that later. So that's the first thing that you see when you come to our town. We got this nice little water garden area here, which is really cool. This is one of Barochi's builds. So let's pull on over into the town center. So the middle of our town, we're going for a sort of bazaar feel. So an open air marketplace, just with a bunch of different stalls and things. It's not finished yet, but we're still working on it. Right here we have a building with a bunch of farmer villagers in it. We can trade in our melons and pumpkins. I'll show you, we got a farm for that, and get a bunch of emeralds for various things that we need. So coming out of the farm building, we'll keep going around. We got this nice fountain right here in the middle, which is sort of the centerpiece for the bazaar, if you will. And go around, got some masons right here. Little rocky stall, fishermen over this way. Now for a while we had an armor stand plugin, which was really nice. You could see I did some stuff here with that, and you'll see more over with the butcher stall that Barochi built. But right at the moment that's disabled, unfortunately, so hopefully it comes back sometime. It was really, really good. Flower stall here, and yeah, you see Barochi made a couple of butterflies out of some things. You got cookies and the sunflower butterfly there. So just a really cool little build that she did here. Really nice. She's good with details and things that I'm not as good at. I've got my little Fletcher in the corner stuck doing his own thing. Stall in progress, you can see here. And then we'll come around. We got a lumber stall on this side. Some logs waiting to be sawed up, and then you got planks over on the other end here that have been cut down already. And here's that butcher stall I was talking about. So you see all the different things that Barochi was able to do with armor stands. So hopefully we can keep doing that and keep decorating the town in that way. But a little hand cart over here and the honey stall. So we're big fans of the bees and the 1.15 update, and so we thought we'd put in a nice little honey stall here. So that's sort of the bazaar area for now. We're planning on putting in at least another 5 or 6 stalls to just keep adding to this area and make it a really busy, bustling center of town sort of thing going on. So if we come this way through the colonnade, and eventually I'm going to put in a glazed terracotta floor in this colonnade, so maybe I'll do that in a time lapse sometime for y'all. But we got a nice little garden here, another fountain. I think Barochi took some inspiration. This fountain I built. The other fountain, I think Barochi took some inspiration from this one for hers. I found this design on the internet somewhere. If I can find it, I'll link it for you guys in the description. And then this is where we keep some of our bees, although I don't see any of them out right now, but that's alright. So that's our little garden area. And we're working on sort of terracing it up the hill too. So you'll see we've got a staircase here and come up. So we're going to try to keep making these more gardens and more terraces all the way up, at least on this side of the hill. So moving on from our fountain over here, we're going to get to some of the more practical aspects of the town, although they're still pretty cool and beautiful and aesthetic in their own way. So here, this is our big melon and pumpkin farm, or as I like to think of it, the emerald farm, because we basically just steal melons and pumpkins from here and take them over to the farmers to trade them in. So it's working pretty well, as you can see. These 2 bottom boxes are full up, and the other 2 will fill pretty quickly after that. Right here we have a stable, and then, yeah, you see all these iron golems, probably tells you what's inside of that. This was originally built to house my leather workers and my shepherds, and I think my butchers were in here as well, but for now it's kind of a holding place for villagers of all stripes until we get the correct bazaar stalls set up for them. So there's just a whole bunch of villagers in there, and as you can see, they're gossiping quite a bit about something, because they're generating a lot of iron golems around here. Over on this side we have an alchemist's hut. So my idea with this build was to build it as though there were 4 trees which had kind of grown together. So I have an oak tree on this side, jungle on this side, and then over here we've got acacia and I want to say spruce on the other corner. Yeah, spruce on the other corner. And the other thing I tried to do with this build is I tried to set up and get one of every plant which is available in the game. Just planted around this tree. I don't know that they're all here anymore. We had a bit of a griefing incident that we had to clean up, but that was the idea, was to get every plant in the game planted around this tree. So if you come inside, it looks all natural on the outside, and then inside you got the obsidian and all this kind of more earthy blocks, more valuable blocks in the wall here. Some ominous paintings of what happens with you when you mess with alchemy too much. And then this is where I've got all my brewing stuff. So I thought I had a chest full of bottles, but I guess not. I'll have to refinish that at some point. So that's the alchemist's hut. If we continue this way, we got this really cool building from a player who's not part of the town anymore, unfortunately, Apelin. She was one of my early town members, but she hasn't been on since early March, I think. I think IRL stuff just happened, and she's not around anymore, unfortunately. But in here, we have our armorers, our weaponsmiths, our toolsmiths. So really nice with the lava roof and the pillars coming down. It's a really cool aesthetic and just a fun building for these guys to be in, I think. So moving on from the forge building here, the lava building, we'll keep coming this way. Here's where I've got my sheep. So originally I just had sheep of every color in different pens here, But then I set up a automatic sheep shearing farm. Oh, it looks like a fisherman has wandered his way into the white sheep pen. Oh well, we'll have to get him out at some point. But here, so I've got sheep of every different color just automatically getting sheared as they grow back their wool. Although it looks like the shears in the brown guy have worn out. I have to replace that at some point. Let me go ahead and sleep real quick so we can see everything in the daytime. That's a bit better. Alright. So we'll keep going. So that's our sheep farm here, or our wool farm rather. And then over this way we have a pen for mushrooms. Now we don't, oh, we do have mushrooms in here. I didn't realize that. We do have a couple of mushrooms. That's great. I knew that the couple that we had in here were killed during the griefing, so I wasn't sure that we'd replenish that already, but we do. So we got a couple of mushrooms here for suspicious stews if we ever want to work with those. A couple other big mushroom areas around here. Here is an ice racetrack that I built a while back. It needs some modification. The curves just aren't wide enough. You can really get going fast along this straightaway here, but once you start going through the curves, you run into the walls and it's really hard to maneuver, even if you're actually good at ice boat racing. So I'm going to fix that at some point, but the idea was that it ran through the mushroom forest and there'd be other different sort of themed areas that you would go through. We got here, this is the camper of Rohan. Rohan's one of the bigger towns on the server, although it hasn't been very active lately, unfortunately. The mayor and one of the other guys that was involved over there has not been active, but this was a cool build they made when they were exploring around. They originally built it out in the middle there, sort of like when you go to big NASCAR racetracks, there's a bunch of campers in the middle and buses and things like that, but I had to move it over here because in the middle of the racetrack I built my iron farm. So this is an iron farm. I got 4 modules from villagers, and I took some inspiration off of, I think it was Tango Tech's video from Hermitcraft Season 7 on here. I think that's who built a farm like this, but anyway, there's 4 zombies, 4 villager pods, and they are supposed to spawn 4 iron golems at a time, which will drop down, and it's timed so that the zombies pop up to scare the villagers at exactly the right time for them to be scared again and to spawn a new iron golem. So let's see if it'll work for. Oh, there they go. There go the zombies, and the villagers get all scared. And hopefully they actually spawn some golems for us. Yep, there we go. There's one. Well, there's one. We're supposed to get 4, but there's one at least. So it's been fairly productive for me, as you can see. And I've emptied this a few times. So I've got most of the iron that I want over here if I need it. Yeah, so quite a bit of iron, and other mobs wander in there from time to time and give me supplies of other things, which is cool too. So we'll come back to the middle of the town to look at a couple other builds in a second, but first I want to take us this way and look at really this area of town is Barochi's. This is all her from here on. So we're coming through the wheat field, and she's got her big Tuscan villa up on the top there, which is just a really amazing build. Like I said earlier, she's really talented at looking for the details and things, and I mean, look at this vineyard here with these, you got the dead bushes and the leaves and the tresses. It's just really cool in my opinion. But you keep coming this way, she's got her villa up here, and maybe at some time when she's on, I will come by and really show this build off to you guys, because I want to kind of have her here to show the little secrets and the other things. But just a really cool build, and I'm not even sure that it's done. I know she's dissatisfied with the roof, but all the little rooms, her little atrium here, just a fantastic build. So So that's the villa. And then if you go this way across, she's got two bridges, each in a sort of a distinct style, which is really neat. Across her river here, she's building a big sort of walled Italian town up that way. Got this olive grove here. It's just so cool. Really cool. But anyway, we come up and I know that this is definitely a work in progress. I hope she's all right with me showing it off. But see, you got this bridge here. We worked on this one together. She did most of the building, but I contributed in some ways, helping her get those arches just right. So we keep coming up this way and up to the walled town. And so yeah, like I said, this is a work in progress, but this is kind of what it's going to look like. These little streets here with the ivy and the roses and various just really nice details. The shutters. Look at this. This is something that she did that I would never think to do, but putting these gates here, these fence gates up under. Maybe you guys have seen that. Maybe somebody else has done that already. I don't know, but here's my contribution inside. It's just a little chicken farm. So that's what I did in this town. She's done most of the rest of it, but just a really cool looking area. Oh, and it doesn't just end up here on the surface either. You see this little manhole here? Let's go down. I'm not sure how this will... Oh yeah, it looks good with shaders. She's got a sewer running underneath this whole thing. So this, I think, is about where the top of the original hill was, and she built a shell over top of it. She put the sewer underneath instead of filling it all in, and then started building the town on top. Just really, really cool here. Various rooms, and I could hang out in Barocci's area of the town all day and show you guys just little details and little cool things. But anyway, got this cistern pit here. Just some really cool details. But I will move on, and I think we'll go back to the center of town to show you sort of the other side. So here we are back over by T-Spawn, and there was one other thing that I forgot to show you here in the town, and that's this big building rising up in the distance. So that is our library, and that's another one of Appleton's builds that is just really amazing. So let me show you inside what we've got here, because this is a cool feature of our town. So we come in, got this nice big foyer here, some books on the side. I started running a chronicle of Wootton Major. You can see the book open there, but up here we have villagers, librarian villagers, and we have the best possible enchantment books for each different enchantment. Now, we don't have the best possible trades for them, so we could, for example, get our mending trade a little bit better. Where's the mending guy? Oh, I think he's in the corner. Yep. So, yeah. Oh, that is you. So, yeah, you see 20 emeralds. You could get a better trade than that, but at least we have every single enchantment, the best possible enchantment book for each thing here. And this has made me a lot of money over the years, over the months that I've been playing. Feels like years sometimes, but over the months that I've been playing, because we have a market district, and being able to sell books, especially early in the server's history when a lot of people were joining for the first time and getting set up, being able to sell enchanted books really brought me in a lot of money in the economy. So it's another one of Appleton's builds up there, that giant mansion. That was her house, and we don't really use it for much right now. We haven't used it since she left, but we have some plans, which I might show you in a future episode. We'll see what happens with that. Barocci and I have talked about putting a really cool thing in there. You see back here, we got a melon and pumpkin farm. Beacon's coming out of the side of that hill. I'll show you where the actual beacon is there at some point. But anyway, got this big Or not melon and pumpkin farm. Why did I say melon and pumpkin? This is carrots and potatoes. Carrots and potatoes here. So, although that guy's supposed to be planting carrots, not potatoes. So I might want to change that at some point, but we'll fix that. Up the stairs here is my first house. I'm not going to show, well, yeah, I'll show it off. I might as well. Come on up here. So yeah, nothing too special. Got my big bay windows here. It's pretty good because at the time I was not very good at building and I was trying to experiment with different house shapes rather than just making it a big rectangle. And I think this is really, it helped me get more confident in my build skills. So although it doesn't look super great right now, it was a big step forward when I first built it. Go ahead and sleep again. We have a multiplayer sleep feature so that depending on how many people are online at a time, a certain number of people sleeping will go ahead and skip the night. Right now there's only 4 of us on, so it just takes me to sleep. But if there were, say, 5 or 6 people on, I think that it would go up to 2 people have to sleep and so on and so forth. So. But yeah, that's my first house. You see I've got a nether portal way up there. I was trying to get to the nether roof, and I did, eventually. Got my pool over here, and right here I'm going to just flex a little bit more. I own the dragon egg. Come over here so you don't get the sun glare. I own the dragon egg. I made a lot of money from my bookshop way back when. And I was able to buy this dragon egg off the person who originally defeated the Ender Dragon first for $1 million. So I put it right here up on the top of the hill next to my millionaire pool just to flex on people. I don't know how many people have been up here to see it, but there it is. We haven't done too much in this area. Barochi's working on a thing here, but she hasn't worked on it in a while, and it's really incomplete, so I won't show it yet. Up here is Aristotle's area. He's building a big tree. That's going to be his base. So he just started working on his thing, so I'll leave that go for now, and we can come back to it. Got a bit of a Stonehenge in progress up here. And over here, if you see that terrace, I'll come back and show that off at some other point when I tell the llama cult story, because that terrace plays a big role in the llama cult story. So I'll save that for some other time, I think. So back down the hill a little bit, we have the entrance to my mine shaft. And then around here, this is sort of our goals board. We don't use it very often, but it's there at least. If you come this way, we have a big acacia tree that we grew up here. If you look in the middle, this is just sort of an enchanting table room. We used to have anvils in here. They've all been used up. I should really replace those because that was a good place for them to be. But we have that. Come across here. We've got a kelp farm with some coral in it to make it look a little nice. In this little pyramid, we got a cactus farm going. And down here, I don't know if you can see inside the frosted glass there. Is this side clear glass? No. Now you can kind of see a little bit. It's a bamboo and a sugarcane farm together. And we have just oodles and oodles of bamboo down there, let me tell you. Over here I got a super smelter array, cub fan design, very easy to put together and easy to use, so I recommend that one. Come up this way. What else have we got over here? That building there was we had plans to build like an ice boat rail system all across, connecting up some of the big towns on the server. That never really happened, but this is where we were going to put Wootton Major's station. So that's what this was. It's a cool little sort of build. Fire out in front. And then back here we've just kind of got open plains, and this is where I'm planning on expanding Wootton in the near future. So I'm going to make this area into sort of a modern city looking area with a bunch of skyscrapers, roads, cars. I'm going to try my hand at building vehicles for the first time, which will be really interesting. And just all sorts of modern things. We'll have a big suspension bridge across here. There's a river this way if I can get to it. Got a river leading across into the desert here. See there? So I'm going to build a suspension bridge and kind of turn that area of desert also into my city. So it's going to be an interesting thing. We'll have Barochi with her Tuscan town is over that way, out of view at the moment. I'm going to have my modern city here, and we're going to keep working on the Bazaar in the regular town as well. So I'm hoping to do some of those builds here with you. I'm sort of turning over a new leaf, starting a real new project back here. And I wanted to share it with everybody instead of kind of working by myself like I have for the past few months. Well, me and Barochi. Every so often a friend will come by to check things out, but I want to get a bit more, share it with a few more of you rather than just individual people now and then seeing what's going on. So that's what this video series is going to be, and I'm really excited for it. And I hope y'all enjoy, and we'll keep working on some things together. Well, that'll be it for me for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like or a comment. Tell me how it all went. And if you really enjoyed, you can come play on Calmcraft with us. It's a public server, completely free to play. So I will leave the link in the description. Y'all can come check it out. If you're already on Calmcraft, please come by Wootton Major, say hi. Look around. It's a really fun place, and I'd love to come look at your builds as well. So that'll be it for now. I'll see y'all in the next video when we'll start working on turning this into a city. See y'all later.